So, welcome. This is Eve. So, if you don't know me, I have like an 8-year software background and I have many projects, many startups in the past. I had many startups in the past. I'm working with startups actively and seeing, what works, what doesn't, what do they do wrong, what do they do right. And in this video, I'm going to break down how to, from all these years of experience, I'm going to break down how to actually make something that works in terms of SaaS. And one of the biggest lessons I learned throughout the years, I don't have a script. I'm gonna openly say what I think, and yeah, we're gonna construct as we go. So in the past, I had many startups, like many ideas, and whatever you thought of, like every industry you can think of, I tried it. I got into ed tech. I got into stock market. I got into what else I got into? HVAC. How the fuck did I end up in HVAC? Right? I call HVAC businesses. I tried to sell like webs and it worked. Anyway, that's not the point. I tried uh yeah, Shopify. I tried anything you can think of. I tried freelancing for software. I tried having a software product, like anything you can think of. And the number one lesson I learned, and it was a super late lesson, if I learned this maybe like 2, 3 years ago, would have been much better. Just keep in mind when the advice is this: keep in mind that you're doing this for the money. Okay. So when I had my first startup, which was a kind of AI stock analysis tool, I was just in it for the passion. I was just building the product, building the product. But number one thing is that I didn't do any like content, I didn't do any marketing. So if you're getting out there, just make the simplest product. My rule is that if it takes more than a week to do, then you don't have the simplest product. If you know how to code, you can just build the simplest product you can imagine and just focus 99% of your effort on marketing and you can get rich. Like I saw a guy on the internet that I tweeted about this. This guy made a business. He is drawing faces on fucking potatoes, for God's sake, and mailing it. And he's making like quite revenue. I don't remember the exact number, but he's making money with it. So if this guy makes it with potatoes, if you have a like good business idea, and this is the greatest way to test a business idea. Let's say about the stock platform, it was quite complex, but let's say I have the most basic version, okay? Maybe a chat GPT wrapper, maybe something super simple. I could have put it online and run ads on it, maybe with even my lab. And you don't even need to run ads on it. If you don't have no money, go on TikTok, go on YouTube, create content around it. Go send cold emails, do cold calls, and afterwards, then you know if the product is good or not. After 1,000 tries of something, let's say you sent 1,000 cold emails, you did 1,000 outbound calls, you did, let's say, 1,000 X posts, then you didn't see any success, then that's the confirmation that your idea doesn't work. Like you need to find another idea. And if you get this process iterated over and over again, you can eventually like make something that generates a good level of income that can be basically make retire. If you have a good SaaS product, let's be real. If you have a good SaaS product, you can retire from it. And whatever you need like 3K per month to just live however you want. Like you don't need to go to a job, you don't need to do anything. Just $3,000 in monthly current revenue. If you have that, you have complete freedom and assign a freedom number, and that should be your goal. When that happens, quit your job and focus 100% on this business and how do you grow it? Maybe create more content, maybe hire a content team with money you are making, or learn how to do content yourself. Anyway, and one of the biggest issues I had in the past was I was stuck on one idea for a long time. Like when I had an idea, now what I do is I find it, I run cold emails, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I just jump onto the next one. Because chances are, if you spend, let's say, $300 marketing an idea, then nobody buys it, but you didn't do any products, etc. You don't have any costs, then you basically just lost $300. But imagine if you spend 10K on building this amazing software, you have 4 or 5 developers and they make this amazing software, and then you go spend money on marketing. and then you don't have any results, then that's going to be another story. So, lesson number two, if you have an idea, market it first before you develop it, right? Market it first before you develop it, and trust my word with it. Like I have 8 years in this software game. I started when I was 10. So I know a little bit of things about software. So I've worked with many clients in the past. I've worked with many entrepreneurs who failed, who just didn't make it, like because of life. Somebody had a heart attack. But the number one thing I saw from entrepreneurs, like if you ask me why 90% of entrepreneurs fail, is one, do not do the marketing. Two, they think they need VCs. They don't know how like strong can organ marketing can be. And two, and this is a really important point, they're just not consistent with it. They don't have a vision, they don't have an end goal. They just do it because they just like it. They're doing it to show to their friends. It's cool to say, hey, I have a SaaS, I have a SaaS, I have a SaaS. Man, if you're building a SaaS, until you make at least $500 to $1,000 in monthly recurring revenue, don't tell anybody. Okay, I read this in psychology books. I have some proof to back it. But trust my word with it. Like, if you are doing something, whatever you do in life, just do it in silence. If you do it in silence, you have 90% greater chance of having it. Because once you say it out loud to someone else, you're sharing that energy that you could have used to make that idea. You're sharing that energy with these people, and after you share it with 10, 15 people, now you don't have the energy to do it. Okay. And yeah, these are about most of the things I think you should and shouldn't do if you're starting out in your entrepreneurial journey.